What actually caused the 27-year civil war in Angola? And can UNITA unseat the MPLA? Was UNITA a sellout movement? Is UNITA failing to adapt to legislative politics? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpotsedu. The National Union for the Total Independence of Angola, UNITA, led by its founders Jonas Savimbi and Antonio da Costa Fernandes, pursued a war against the popular movement for the liberation of Angola, MPLA. From 1975 to 2002, after the death of Savimbi in 2002, UNITA has not managed to win elections, often crying foul that the elections were not free and fair. Is there a future for UNITA in Angola? My guest today is the president of the National Union for the Total Independence of Angola, UNITA, Isaias Samakuva. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Have you failed to adapt to politics of governance?
Absolutely. I must say that since war ended, UNITA thought that the main thing that was the cause and the objective for the war that UNITA carried out was democracy.
Yeah.
But we cannot talk about the democracy in the country if our own party internally is not democratic. So the first thing we do, or the first thing which we did, is to convert our movement into a party that endorsed and followed the democratic principles for which it had fought.
Yes.
We held an election.
Yes.
At this stage, UNITA is the sole party in Angola that holds elections, internal elections, free elections, transparent one, very credible one, with observers.
Are you not saying that because you're the one who won?
No. This is very, very recognizable by everybody in Angola.
Okay.
And not only by everybody in Angola, but worldwide. This is something that everybody agrees, because we called, as I said, observers to be at those elections.
Okay.
We hold already 3 elections in the way I'm talking about.
Okay.
But not only that, we brought our members into the parliament, and I must tell you that UNITA parliamentary group is the one that is really fighting for democracy in Angola. I could tell you lots of examples that demonstrate our firm determination.
We'll talk about that.
Good.
Let's talk about the fact that since 2002, after the death of Jonas Savimbi, whereas the world had expected that there should be peace, or there's going to be peace in Angola, there still remained some pockets of insurgents here and there, and we can't attribute them to no one else except UNITA. No.
I must say that there is no pockets of insurgents in Angola. Of course, that Angola is a big country, has Cabinda.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a separate story.
Are you not involved in Cabinda?
No. It is clear that Cabinda has its own movement, its own organizations that are fighting for independence of Cabinda.
Oh, yes.
We Angolans think that Cabinda is part of Angola, although it has its own specificities.
Okay.
So this is a different story.
Okay.
But within Angola, there are no pockets of insurgency.
Okay.
So what we have experienced is not UNITA to attack or to do whatever to the Angolans or to the government. It is the government, the ruling party at this stage, because of what we call political intolerance. It is the MPLA that is not allowing political parties to act according to the constitution, according to the rules.
We'll get to that. But Mr. Samaguva, why did it take the death of Savimbi before UNITA can go back to the talks?
It is clear. Dr. Savimbi has fought for democracy and for peace.
Yes.
He was a very independent man.
Yes.
Who doesn't accept advice from foreigners.
No, that's not true.
It is.
No, it can't be true. When UNITA was being funded by the USA.
Well, in which conditions? Dr. Savimbi, and this is what happened. You know, in politics you don't have friends.
Well, you don't have permanent friends. You do have friends, but they're not permanent.
You don't have friends. You have interests.
Okay.
At some stage, the United States needed to fight communists.
Okay. And they found Jonas Savimbi as an ally.
It found UNITA that was fighting against communism towards and in favor of democracy. So at some stage, the interests of the United States and the interests of UNITA crossed. They were at an interception point.
Okay.
We always said that, you know, this is...
So you also...
This is like two ways. One going this way, another going this way.
Now,
so while they sit, they find themselves into that interception point.
Okay.
Their common interests.
Now, you had common interests with apartheid South Africa?
In some way. In some way, because the apartheid, the apartheid South Africa was fighting against the communists. And UNITA was doing the same.
And you felt this UNITA that we're going to support this apartheid government, which is going to kill...
We did not support apartheid.
What did you do?
UNITA was always clear towards the South Africans.
Yeah.
Dr. Savimbi contacted, some of them are alive. They can say no. But Dr. Savimbi spoke to Mr. Botha, to South African authorities by that time, to tell them that it is not worthwhile to keep Mr. Mandela in prison.
No, let's leave Mr. Mandela in prison.
No,
let's leave him for a while in prison. Okay? Let's leave Mr. Mandela in prison for a while, Mr. Samko. What I'm saying to you is that UNITA colluded with an apartheid regime, which was led by the likes of Malan.
I'm telling you that we did not collude with South Africans.
Okay, they supported you.
There were common interests in some stage of the history.
That's collusion.
And no, it is not. It is not. South Africans were South Africans. We were Angolans with our own interests.
What was your interest in an area whereby you were willing to support a system which you knew was killing your people in Angola?
No. And the Angolans were killing us. We are Angolans as well. So we had to defend themselves. If we have not defended ourselves, I couldn't be here talking.
Okay. Hold that thought there. So I want you to explain to me further about...
Let me just say the following.
Okay, I'm going to give you that chance. We need to take a quick break.
There was a civil war. Angolans killing each other.
Okay, so let's take a quick break. I'll give you an opportunity to expand further on that. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we continue our discussion. This is Question Time.
Enjoy your PlayStation 4 games on your smartphone with PS4 Remote Play. Don't settle for good, demand great. The new Sony Xperia Z3 series.
Get the new Sony Xperia Z3 Compact on a My MTN Choice 100 contract for only $399 and get a free 12-month music streaming subscription.
Our new waterproof smartphone takes superior photos even in low light. Has PlayStation 4 remote play and up to 2 days battery life. Don't settle for good. Demand great. The new Sony Xperia Z3 series.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today is the president of UNITA, Mr. Isaias Samakuva. Now, Mr. Samakuva, you were still explaining to me. Angolans were killing each other, and then...
So there was a civil war.
Yes.
Angolan killing each other for reasons that, may take time to explain. But we had to defend ourselves. You said, well, you were with South Africans, and the other part of Angola were with the Russians, with the Cubans.
Yes.
What is the difference? What is the difference? There were foreigners fighting in our country, foreigners fighting for their own interests. So, and the Angolans, the two sides of Angolans, also pursuing their interests. So, it is clear, and must be clear, the involvement of UNITA with South African was a temporary thing for strategic reasons
to win the war against
the communists. Against the communists.
But you were socialists yourself.
This is different. This is different. On one side you have communists who were saying that the economy should be centralized. They were saying that there is no religion, God doesn't exist. They were saying that there is no democracy, it has to be one-party system. And on the other side, we were saying that the economy should be free market. The system, political system, should be a democratic one. So it was a collision of two completely currents of thoughts.
Now, you were saying, what was the reason why it took the death of Savimbi for UNITA to start playing part in national politics? Was he a stumbling block?
When you look at history,
yes,
and you see what is happening today in the country, you realize that there was on one side Mr. Savimbi fighting for the interests of the Angolans, of the poor men, and on the other side there were those who were fighting to, serve the interests of foreigners. So they come with the foreigners they were fighting for, to kill, to clean, to wipe out those who were fighting for the interests of the Angolans. In such a way that we look at the situation today, we see Angola, as you may know, in the statistics, growing. The economy growing. But people still rich. We are in the country, we are people from a country that is very rich with the people that are very poor.
Mr. Samakuva, I know you're a politician, but I'm really pleading with you to just answer my question. Why did it take the death of Savimbi for UNITA to say we are going back to the negotiation table, for instance? Was he a stumbling block?
Let me say the following.
Yes.
Firstly, it is not true. If you go to history, we have documents. UNITA had offered, not after 1992 alone, even from the beginning, all the time, we made statements. War was going on. We made statements. We wanted to negotiate.
Now, why did you then take it serious after Savimbi died?
No, let me tell you that peace was our aim. But
Savimbi was the stumbling block.
No, for our brothers, it was necessary to take out the leader. That is the question.
Yeah, but then it means you were cowards.
I may assert that. I may assert that. If I look at what's going on...
Because if they kill your leader and then you surrender...
I may assert that. I must tell you that the situation in the country today is in such a way, that if we had to act normally, Angola could be at war again.
Okay.
They are killing us.
No, it's not normal.
Our colleagues are being killed. And nothing is done. The courts don't act. Nobody acts on that.
I know, I agree with you.
Young people are really pushing us towards actions.
Yes.
But we are saying that perhaps it's better to be into a peace situation, and so we may take longer than perhaps what people wanted, but we can save lives.
Yes, I know about Kamlingwe and Kasule.
Not only those.
Yes.
Not only those.
Yes.
Very recently, people were killed, just because they wanted to have their meeting. And there were people from a legal political party.
Do you think UNITA has the capacity to unseat Eduardo dos Santos?
Yes.
He's been there for 30 years.
Yes, it has been there for 10 years because elections are always fraudulent. Do you imagine elections that take place and a third of the electorate is displaced, their names are displaced to hundreds of kilometers in order not to vote? And this is something that we had seen before elections. This is something that we told the Electoral Commission, that the names of the electorate in Luanda were in Kazombo, 1,000 kilometers out of Luanda.
But you have your own traditional strong base, where I would expect that UNITA...
Today there is no longer a strong traditional base of UNITA.
Okay.
Today the whole country is behind UNITA.
Yeah, but if that was the case, they would have voted for you. It would be difficult for anybody to rig.
They vote for us. They vote for us. And I must tell you one thing. When there are elections in South Africa, and I have a friend who actually is the chairman of our OSCE group of observers. Even in the United States, there are observers for elections in the United States.
Yes.
But for Angola, nobody has money for observers. They don't come. In the last elections, we had not
even a single one.
Observers, not one observer. So this must tell you what is going on in Angola, why, as you said, Savimbi was killed and so on.
Okay.
This must tell you what is going on there.
Okay, we will explore what is going on there and why is there no money for observers, because Angola is rich in natural resources.
No money for observers for Angola only.
Okay.
There are money
We're taking a quick break. Please don't go away. Question time returns.
Icons is a unique visual journey of some of South Africa's greatest citizens.
When I wake up in the morning, I've got a challenge.
You succeeded in getting me to do something
which is absolutely against my nature.
If I do something properly.
In celebration to 20 years of democracy, the newly released book 21 Icons offers exclusive access to a remarkable spread of South African legends.
It tells their personal stories and unique portraits that reflect our country and, above all, its people.
That's Kaleidoscope, Sundays, 5:40 p.m. on SABC News.
Since its inception, the city of Durban has sent a group of designers on an internship program in Milan, the fashion capital of the world. The origins of belly dancing are unclear, but its history in Egypt goes back to the 18th and 19th centuries, where dancers were known as wawazi. Inala's original music is composed and performed by Ladysmith Black Mambazo, the multiple Grammy Award-winning South African isicathamiya group, led by Joseph Shabalala and Ella Spira. Inala blends the rhythms and harmonies of native musical roots with live percussion, piano and strings.
Join Musam Khalipi on Afro Showbiz every Saturday at 19:30 CAT.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today is the leader of UNITA, Isaiah. I must get your
Samakuva.
Samakuva. I must get it right, Mr. Samakuva. Now, you have a scenario where, in the last elections, you've got how many seats?
32.
32. Are you in Parliament?
I was elected a member of Parliament,
okay.
But I'm carrying of the party, so a substitute went on my place.
Okay. Now, who is funding UNITA?
The state. We don't have other sources of money than the state. In Angola, and I believe everywhere, there is
money that is set
money
aside
that the state gives. In the case of UNITA, you get around the correspondent to $10 for each vote you get.
Okay.
So we had 1,200,000 plus votes. So this is what we are getting. And this is the source of our funds.
I don't think I've monitored elections all over the world, and elections are expensive.
Absolutely.
And when you challenging a man like Dos Santos, who is said to be a billionaire in US dollars, you must know that you are setting yourself against quite a rich man who's got money to do a lot.
A rich man that is using the money of the state funds for himself, leaving the people of the country poor, in a very bad conditions. So this is enough to give us enough support. He can stay with his money. And because he is staying with his money, which is not his, this is state funds, as I said. So the normal citizen, the people in the streets suffering, looking at the president who is using state funds for himself and for his family and his colleagues. So, as I said, only this element give us enough support, because we are denouncing these kind of things.
Okay.
We are telling people that this is your money, and you deserve better life than that you have today. So if UNITA comes to power, you would see a different kind of life.
Okay.
So
have you discarded?
He can stay with his money. We just need free elections, nothing else. We just need transparent elections, nothing else.
But don't you think that you playing in the legitimate field has also cost you some money as well? Because, I mean, truth be told, the Blood Diamonds trade funded UNITA at some stage.
Listen, UNITA acted as a state. UNITA had more than 3/4 of the country.
Yes.
And you find people today in the hands of the state in a normal situation, people saying that they were better there because they could find medicine, they have better schools, they had a, better life than what they are seeing today. Which means that the area, the territory that UNITA had controlled, had the resources also to keep the people.
The rest of Angola.
So we were, as a government,
okay,
and we had to create schools, hospitals, agriculture schemes, and everything worked. With which money?
Okay.
The money coming from the resource of the country.
When are the next elections?
Next elections, before talking about next elections, I should tell you the next elections should be now, 2014,
yes.
Local elections.
Yes.
Do you imagine that Angola had never had local elections?
Okay.
It was agreed upon that local elections should take place this year.
All right. So are they continuing?
And we got to October, and the president came to say that there are no local elections. We held local elections after general elections in 2017.
Wow.
So, we'll see.
Okay. Is Angola a free country?
More or less.
Okay. How many seats should we expect come 2017?
How many?
How many seats should we expect from UNITA?
I expect to have enough seats to win elections.
Am I talking
to be the majority in the parliament?
Am I talking here to the next president of Angola?
Definitely, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest and to you for watching the show. Get in touch with us. Our email address, questiontime@sabc.co.za. Our Twitter handle, @questiontime24. And you can also follow me on Twitter, @Mpho. That's it from us. Goodbye.